Hello and welcome to Wednesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where the puzzle we're attempting today is called Happy Birthday Sujoyku. So indeed, happy birthday Sujoyku. I am delighted to have a go at this puzzle in the video. It's obviously your birthday, but apparently, well, this has been set for you by your friends and you, because apparently, well, let me get the full list of friends. Calvinball, ChinStrap, GDC, mellowrobinson, MSDOS, MS-DOS, I suppose, Nordy, SamuPiano, and sujoyku. So I think that a few months ago, I'm not sure which of this coterie wrote to sujoyku and asked for sort of a nub of an idea for a puzzle. Sujoyku provided the nub of the idea, and then his friends have worked around it to basically produce this puzzle, which is the result of all this collaboration to celebrate your birthday. So what a lovely idea. It's estimated at 3 stars, but is only published today, so it doesn't have a formal rating yet. But I'm looking forward to trying it. It looks like it's got some interesting things going on in the grid. Some things I recognise, like these green lines joined by, the green line joined by circles. I think isn't that a SamuPiano favourite? I might be wrong about that, but I think it might be. Yeah, and this is what we're going to have a go at in today's video. There, I've said it. Now, other news, other things that are happening today. There are a few things. There's a bonus video on the channel in which Michael won last month's Patreon reward competition. Michael and I do battle with this puzzle, Giza by Cactus Love. Now, this puzzle is brilliant. It is brilliant. And Michael does a brilliant job of helping me to solve it. Yeah, so that video's on the channel. I think that's the 9th viewer solve that we've done so far, and hopefully the 10th viewer solve will be the winner of this month's competition. And I can say this month now because it is the 1st of October, and over on Patreon at 4 p.m. this afternoon we launched, here we go, oh, it's in the wrong place, it's always in the wrong place, Skunkworks Extra Byte Sudoku Hunt. And this is a Sudoku hunt featuring no less than 68 different puzzles. So you can see as we go down the list, all the way down, people like the pedaling pianist setting puzzles here, Rat Finks, and then the last one, CTC. Anyway, this is an absolute treat for everybody. So if you're not a patron, do join us over there. It's a couple of bucks a month to join us. Loads and loads of extra content, most important of which every month is one of these Sudoku hunt competitions. So the closing date is the 20th, so plenty of time to do all 68 puzzles, and do get involved. I think you will have fun. Oh, and we scheduled a new blueprint stream for next Monday. I don't know what the date of next Monday is, but next Monday at 10 p.m. UK time, Mark and I will return to the mansion. Let's see how we do this time. You can watch how we did last time on the channel. I'll try and remember to put a link to that on the screen. And then I've got some other birthdays, not just Sujoyku's birthday. Actually, I've got birthdays and anniversaries to do today. Chase, you've turned 37 today. And I know this because your wife Cheryl wrote to us. And this is a big time for the two of you. You're closing on your first home tomorrow, I think. And you're expecting your first baby, a baby girl, at any moment. Oh, so do let us know how that goes. Chase, very many happy returns. I hope that you can fit in some chocolate cake amongst all these big life events. And I wish you and Cheryl, of course, all of the very best over the next weeks and months. Next, David. David, it's your birthday today. And I know this because your partner, Erin, wrote to us. I think the two of you both enjoy Sudoku. But David, you watch a lot of the videos and you've even been known to fall asleep to them. I can't believe it. Am I not scintillating company? Good grief. Anyway, David, many happy returns. I hope there's chocolate cake and it's heavily iced, of course. Next birthday, next is an anniversary actually, for Heather and Jordan over there in Huntsville, Alabama. Do I know Huntsville? Is that do they do space research and stuff in Huntsville, or I invented that? I might have invented that. But anyway, Heather and Jordan, it's your third wedding anniversary today, and I think the 10th anniversary of when you started dating. So a propitious day, and I hope that there is chocolate cake to celebrate. And then last but certainly not least, young Caden. Caden, you've turned 7 today, over there in Beckley, West Virginia. And I know it's your birthday because your daddy Joshua wrote in and said, could I wish you a happy birthday? Well, of course I can. And Caden, I hope you have a brilliant birthday today. Thank you for watching the channel. And I hope that there is an enormous amount of very heavily iced chocolate cake in store for you. That's all the news. Let's have a look at the puzzle. Happy birthday, Sujoyku, by you and all your friends as well. The rules are as follows. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply, so we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Digits may not repeat in a cage and must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage, so those 3 digits there sum to 22. So they could be 7, 6, 9. They add up to 22. That would be a legitimate way of making that cage work. Dutch whispers. So adjacent digits along a thicker orange line must differ by at least 4. So that can't be a 1. Let's make it a 9 instead. If this was a 9, this digit has to be at least 4 different. So it's very easy to get these confused with German whispers. But that means this digit would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So it's not quite the same as German whispers, because the difference doesn't have to be 5, it only has to be 4. Region sum line. Box borders divide the thinner blue line into segments, each of which has the same sum. So those 4 digits sum to the same as those 5 digits. I think that's all that's being said there. There is nothing more complicated than that. Odd lots. Digits in orange circles count the total number of odd digits along the line with the circle, including the circled cell. Right. So that circle is counting how many odd digits there are in all of those cells, I think. And this circle is counting how many odd digits there are in those 4 cells, I think. That's how I read that rule. And then split peas. Digits on a thin green line with circles at both ends sum to a 2-digit number, where the tens digit is in one circle and the units digit is in the other. So imagine these cells sum to 35. Then these 2 digits would be a 3 and a 5. One of them representing the 30 and one of them representing the 5. And then those digits there would obviously sum to 35 to make that work. And they are, and I'm just going to check, that's all the scrolling I can do. So they are all the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play Let's Get Cracking. So, I mean, there's a lot of 22 cages here, and 22 cages are better than the cages I normally get given nowadays because I can at least say something about them. I mean, a 22 cage has to contain a 9, and will either be a 5-8-9 combination or a 6-7-9 combination. So, yeah, so, I mean, there's definitely a 9. I'm actually wondering whether I might be forced to pencil mark this fully, because the other thing I'm noticing here is because digits in a 22 cage have to be at least equal to 5, because they're either 5-8-9 or they're 6-7-9. The same is true of that cell, isn't it? I mean, so that is a true quintuple in row 7, which means these other digits all have to be terribly low. Now, yeah, okay, because there is definitely a 9 in this cage, and there is definitely a 9 in this cage. Actually, this is probably something worth noting, that the flavour of 22 cage that this is different from the flavour of 22 cage that this is. Because imagine these were both 6, 7, 9. That would mean those 4 digits were selected from just the digits 6, 7 and 9, but there are 4 of them. So that would necessitate a repeated digit and break Sudoku rules. So these are different flavours. But both cages include a 9. Now that means, because we can't put 2 9s in row 7, for example, one of those 2 digits is a 9. And one of these 4 digits is a 9. So that is not a 9, and now there must be a 9 in this domino. And that might mean something. We've also got 2 22 cages in these columns, haven't we? Okay, right, let's do it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 in column 7 is very... Oh, what did the circle mean? Was that a count of odd digits or something? Digits in orange circles count the number of odd digits along the line. Right, so where is 9 in column 7? 9 has to be, by Sudoku, it can't be in these 3 or these 3 cells because it's in the 22 cages. So it's in one of these 3. It's not here because we said one of those 2 has to be a 9 to accommodate the 2 9s in these cages. So this is not a 9. It's not here because that would be saying that this 4-cell line contained 9 odd digits. That's just silly. So that's a 9. Now... Yeah, okay. So the flavours of these cages, these are different as well. Well, actually, that we could have seen that from column 9. It's the same logic we applied in row 7. But I was just noting that, I mean, this cell can't be bigger than 4, can it? It can't actually even be 4. Because if this was a 4, 4 is even. But it would be saying there are 4 odd digits on the line. But there would only be 3 cells left to put those 4 odd digits into because 4 is even. So that's 1, 2 or 3. And if it's 1, then that itself is odd, and all those 3 would all have to be even. No, okay, I'm not sure I can do... Oh, but this is a Dutch whisper, is it? Sorry, yeah, let's actually use the property of the line itself, which is a Dutch whisper. So this is a low digit. So this is at least 4 different from this. So this is at least 5. 1 plus 4 is 5, and otherwise it's got to be even bigger than that. So it looks like... Oh, yes, okay. It might be this column that we have to look at. Let me just think about this for a second or two. Do I want to continue pencil? I think this is going to explode if I pencil mark it much further. Because this digit has to be 4 different from one of those digits. But the problem with that is we can't just pencil mark 1, 2, 3 and 4 in here at all. Because this could be, if this was a 9, this could be a 5. And if that's a 5, that could... Oh, no, that can't be 9. Okay, so it probably is worth... Okay, there's only 5 options for this cell. If this 9 hadn't been here, and this had been a 5, this could have been a 9, but that option is actually not available. And similarly, therefore... Well, see, this cell is bad, because this cell has the annoying property of being anything high, including 5. So I suppose apart from 9. So 5, 6, 7, 8, or 1. If this is 5, that could be a 1. Yes, it's funny. Dutch whispers are weird things. They really don't do very much. I'm not sure what to do with that. What I did think is column 6 looked interesting, didn't it? Because we've got 2 definitively quite high, or 3 definitively quite high cells, and we've got a 21 cage up here. Now 21, you could have a digit as low as a 4 in that if it was 489. But imagine there was no 9 in that cage, then it would be 678. And then you would have a quintuple on high digits in column 6. And a 15 cage, a 15 cage is either 6, 9 or 7, 8. So, right, okay. So here's a small point. That digit has to be that digit. Now that's weird, but I think that's true. And the reason I'm seeing that, and you may say you're a strange man, Simon, and it's been said before, so I won't take offence. I was looking at those 5 digits as sort of a combination. Now we know the total of those 5 digits, it's 36. But I know that if all these digits were different digits, the most I could make them add up to is 35, because 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 is 35. So these can't be all different digits, they must include a repeated digit, and the only digit that can repeat is this one. These obviously you can't repeat two of the same digits in the same box of Sudoku, so this digit must repeat, and the only place by Sudoku it can repeat is there. That's really weird. I like that. So this digit is 6, 7, 8 or 9, and that's another high digit in the column. It's something to do with this column, I think. So those are the same. We should definitely try and record that. But we don't know that that digit has to be in here. At least I don't think that we know that. Oh, right. Okay, and now the Dutch Whisper's got a problem. Okay. That's very interesting. Okay. Oh, how can I explain this? Let me just try. I'm not very good at explaining Dutch Whispers, but let's think about how they work. And what I want to do to start with is to imagine that the digit 5 doesn't exist. And you may say, well, that's stupid, because the digit 5 does exist. I know, but I just want to explain a principle. If the digit 5 didn't exist, let's extend this line a bit further. How could we observe anything about how Dutch Whispers would operate, given that the digits have to differ by 4? Well, if the digit 5 doesn't exist, and let's say this was a low digit, what would this digit be? Well, if the digit 5 didn't exist, this would have it would be a higher than 5 digit, wouldn't it? Because it's a digit 4 different from these. If 5 doesn't exist, would have to be high. It would have to be 6, 7, 8 or 9, and then similarly this would then have to be low again, and this would have to be high again. So if 5 doesn't exist, you get this oscillation. We go low, high, and if we'd started high, it would have gone high, low, high, low. Now, what's happening here? Clearly, we have not got oscillation, have we? Because if we had oscillation, this digit would be high, and then that should be low, but it's not, it's high. So how does that get interrupted? Well, the way it gets interrupted is we get this change of polarity, and the way that works is that the digit 5 muddles the pitch. Let me show you how that could happen. So if this is a low digit, but this is a 5, you can see that this now has the opportunity to be 9. And now, what's happened along the line? These two digits are not the same polarity. The polarity has shifted. This digit will now be low again. This digit will be high. So we will continue with, now that the polarity has been reset from this 9, it'll now oscillate until the line turns. But the 5 causes the polarity to change, basically. It stops that alternation. So we know there must be a 5 here, causing the switch in the alternation. Now, so how's that working then? So we know there must be a 1, 5, 9 sequence on this line in order for that to happen. So this has to be 1 5 is where I think we're going with this. I mean, I'm just let me cogitate on that for a moment. I don't think there's another way of doing it. I mean, if we were to go to the nth degree and pencil mark it, those squares, yeah, that's one way to think about it, isn't it? These two, this digit has to be 5 different from this one, therefore it has this property. This one has to be 5 different from this, therefore it has this property, and these two have to be 5 different from each other. So they are a 1 5 pair, which was sort of where my instinct was taking me. Now these are no longer 5. And one of these digits is a 9 now, to make the polarity shift, because whichever of these digits is 5 is going to have a 9 next to it. So if that was a 9, this digit would be a 6, and if this was a 9, then those two digits would add up to 12. So is that doing something? It probably is. Oh, come on, I can't see what it's doing though. That's very stupid of me. That definitely feels interesting, doesn't it? But I was thinking it might give us the nature of this 22 cage, but I'm not sure that it does. Oh, Bobbins McBobbins face. What am I missing here then? Oh, hang on a minute. Okay, it's the same there, is it? Might not be. Yeah, how is this working? It is the same. Yes, it is the same. I mean, we've got a 4-cell the presence of 5 here I don't think is going to disturb the conclusion, is it? If we think about all the options for this cell, let's just really list them out. Yeah, it's good actually. It's this 9 here that's really causing, that's beautiful. Yes, it's the same. It's the same trick. It's the same trick, but just everything's a little bit different, and the 9 here is lovely. Right, because the fact that 5 is an option for both of these digits means that in theory we could have had a 9 in one of these positions. But we can't because of this Sudoku, this lovely 22 congregation. Now, that means these digits are actually, they have to be low digits. I mean, they could include a 5, and they will include a 5 in order to switch the polarity. But these are the options for these cells, because 9 isn't an option. We can't go from a 5 upwards to a 9, which we could normally have done along a Dutch Whispers line, but this 9 prevents it. So these are both low. They have to be 5 apart, so we can see they are a 1 5 pair. So they don't include 5. One of these two is now a 9 in order to be, because none of these are 5 anymore. So this is not a 9. This is not a 9. We've got the most strange. It looks like a deadly pattern of 1s and 5s, but I guess it's going to be resolved by whichever of these are 9s, and that might sort it out. But also, yes, okay, I've got a 1 5 pair in this column, so this is not 1 or 5. But also, where's 1 in column 6 now? It can't be here. It can't be here. It's not in either of those two squares, so that is a 1. That digit prevents this being a 1 on the circle, because if this is a 1, it's saying there's 1 odd digit, and there would very definitely be 2. So that is no longer a 1. Now, what is the next thing. One of these is a 5. That's definitely true. So if this was 5, this would be 8, this would be 9. 5, 8, 9. And then this would be 6, 7, 9. Sorry, I mean, this should be totally obvious to me now, shouldn't it? And I wish it was, but I'm not sure it is. Can I... 9 has to be down here, that's the truth. Because there's a 9 there, and there's a 9 here. We know one of these is a 9 as well, don't we? Is that in some way explaining what's going on? I don't know. I've got a whole host of quite high digits there. Oh dear, I don't see it. Okay, alright, well if we don't see it, we've just got to think harder, don't we? Wow. I'm sorry, if you can all see where I'm meant to look here, then well done. I have not got a Scooby-Doo. Is it those digits? I was thinking suddenly, do they have to have a 9 in? But they definitely don't. 6, 7, 8, and this is 9. That would be a 6. That would be a 6. That's okay, isn't it? Or is there a reason now this can't be 4, 8, 9? That would be interesting. If it's 4, 8, 9, this is 9. This would be 4, 8, so this would be 9. And this would be 6. Does that cause a problem? If we had 9s here and 9s here, I know one of these is a 9. So this would... hang on, that's... no, I can't have 9s in those two positions. No, that must be wrong. Hang on, no, I've misunderstood something there. I think I can. If that's a 9 and that's a 9... now, how do I put a 9s into one of those? I know one of those is a 9. Oh, there must be... okay, there's definitely something going on here then. Yeah, one of these is a 9. So it's not possible for both of those to be... ah, that's it. Oh, it's as simple as... oh, that's very clever. Right. Right, okay, I've finally got there. This is really... it's sharp setting, this. Yeah. So, what... if I'd have sort of remembered my pencil marking, do we remember one of these is a 9? That is definitely true, because there are 2 9s in these 22 cages, and therefore we can't put 2 9s in row 7. So one of these is a 9. Now, if this was 9, we know it repeats here. So that's definitely not going to work, because neither of these could be a 9. So these are not 9s. And now, somehow and because of because I know there's a 159 to change the polarity, I know one of these is a 9, and now it has to be that one. So that's a 9, that's a 9, using Sudoku. This is not a 9. We've had the 9 now in the pink cage. We need a 9 in the green cage, and it's going to have to go there. By mathematics, that's a 6. There's no 9 in the 21 cage now, so it is 6, 7, 8. That's the only way you can make it work, and we know the order, so that's 6. There is no 6 in here. And therefore, these squares are a 2, 3, 4 triple, which has no effect on that one, apparently. But this 9, what does that do? Does that do something clever? Maybe. Oh, hang on. Oh, this is good. This being a 6 tells us that we now know the nature of the pink cage, because it can't be a 6, 7. So this has to be a 5, 8 flavour of 22 cage, and I know where the 5 goes. So that's 5, that's 8. So this is not 5 anymore, or 6 for that matter, or 8 for that matter. So that is definitely odd. So 1, 2, buckle my shoe. If that was 2, that would just make that even. And if that was 3... Oh, so this is always even. Oh, has that been that might have been available for ages. That's always even. Because if this is 2 or 3, we're quadrate on the line with just these 3 cells. So that one's got to be even to not incorrectly cause the count to fail. Now, we know this is 9, 6, 7. So let's just quickly pencil mark those in. So 6, 7 and 8 are looking at this square. So this is now a 5, which means these squares are 8 and 9. And we know this has to be different. So this is 6, 7, 9 up here. And I know where the 6 goes. Okay, we're finally starting to make a little bit of better progress. I shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have said that. That was, oh, that's an 8 by Sudoku. Sujoyku. This is a 9. Can things be by sujoyku in this puzzle? Well, some of the things in this puzzle are by sujoyku, so that seems totally reasonable. Ah, that's a 6, so that's a 6, that's a 7. These cells, therefore, what are they? 2, 3, 4, and 7. So let's just quickly pencil mark that all. That's definitely a 7 in this domino. We can't use the whispers trick, can we? Oh, we can use Sudoku. That's got to be a 6. That does absolutely nothing. And this will, whether this is 2 or 3, this line will work. And those are definitely at least 4 apart, so we're not going to be able to do anything with that. It might be the green line now. We seem to have a lot of low digits on that one. And I've never thought about this region sum line. I mean, it didn't look propitious when we looked at it when we were doing the rules, did it? Because it's sort of 4 cells there equaling 5 cells there, so it's a very evenly distributed line. Okay, here's a small point. That digit is even. I think that's got to be right, hasn't it? The way I'm seeing that is there are some number. Ignore. Well, no. In the total panoply of digits on that line, there are some even digits, presumably, and those even digits account for an even total. So let's imagine I introduce an odd digit into this segment. Well, now what do I have to do to even that, or to make sure that this also has an odd total? I'm going to have to introduce an odd digit into this segment as well, aren't I? You're going to have to make sure they equal each other in terms of their odd digits. If I then introduce a second odd digit into this, it reverts back to being even again, which means that this could either stay with even digits or would have to have a second odd digit. So you're always equaling. There's always going to be a sort of even number of odd digits along this line, otherwise it won't work. There will be an imbalance in odd digits, and you couldn't make the 2 halves equal each other. So that's actually useless. Sorry, that does nothing. That's 2, 4, 6 or 8 then. Oh, bobbins. Right. Those 3 digits are interesting. They are 5, 8 and 9 by Sudoku, aren't they? So the total for the bottom part of the line is quite large. It's at least, well, 22 for the bottom, 5, 8, 9, plus maybe you could have a 1, 2 pair there. So that would be 3 more. So 25 is the absolute minimum of the bottom part of the... hang on, you can't... hang on. You can't put 9 on the top section. That's huge. Yeah, sorry. So what we've just said here is that that bottom section adds up to, at the very minimum, 25. Well, this top section is 4 digits, not including a 9. So if we made those 8, 7, 6 and 5, which is the very most we could make them, they would add up to 26. So there is exactly 1 degree of freedom here. So these digits cannot add up to more than 4. They could add up to 3, but they cannot add up to more than 4. So they definitely don't include a 4. And they definitely do include a 1. They can't even be a 2, 3 pair. One of those is a 1. That is not a 1. It feels like that must do something. And these cells, we've got to basically max them out all but. They must include 8, 7, 6. That's forced. And then one of 4 or 5 for the final digit. So they definitely don't include a 2, that's for sure. And this, hang on, what's this counting? This is counting odd digits on the line. I've already got a 5, a 9 and a 1, so I'm already up to 3. And I must have a 7, so that's 4. And I've got a 2 or a 3 down there. Well, you can't get 8 because we know we know that 2 of these are even because they're 8 and 6. It's possible there's a 5 here. That's the best we're going to do. So there could be 2 odd digits there. And there could be 4 odd digits there, so that's never an 8. So this is 4 or 6. And, well, okay, by Sudoku, it's not 6. Where's 6 in this box? I didn't realise this, I could have just placed it. So that's 6, that's 4, and that sorts everything out. Because this has to be 6, 7, 8. This is, oh, no, that doesn't fix that. But it means we now know the total of this, don't we? This is adding up to 25, which means this has to be a 1, 2 pair. It has to be absolutely minimumed out. This is therefore a 3, 4 pair. And that 4 does it. So that's 4, that's 3. Oh, whoopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie. That was too many spacebar hits, wasn't it? Right, that's not 4. Let's try and get the right number of spacebar hits. There's definitely a 4 on this green line over here. It's full of quite low digits. Let me just think about Sudoku, though, for a moment, in case I can do anything intelligent. That's not a 6. I mean, these cells are 1, 2, 3, 5, aren't they? These are not 1s, these are not 3s. And this one's not 5 either. Can we do any better than that? 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. So column 1 still needs 3, 4, 5, 9. So this cell is a 5 or a 9. It sees 3 and 4 in this 2, 3, 4 triple. So there's a 3, 4 pair up here. And can we do anything else? Where is... No, that's not a good question, so we won't ask that question. Where are... Well, okay, where's 7 in this box? That's a completely legitimate question. It's only got one place it can go, and that's here. Now, where's 9 in this box? It's got to be there. And that means I've got 5 in the corner down here. I've got a 9 here. I've got an 8 here. Now I can put 8 in box 1. I still need 1, 2, and 5. Oh, this is a 2. That's a naked single. Can't be 1 or 5. So these now are not 2. These squares are a 1, 5 pair. And this row hasn't got a second 3 or 4 in it. So we've got a 3, 4 pair in row 2. And we've we've probably got to look at this line, but I've been holding off on that. Let's just see. How do we do this then? I don't quite know, but I think we must be quite. Oh, I know what we can do. Hang on. Yeah, well, it's not going to help, but we can unwind the 1, 5 pairs. 6 can't be next to 5 on the Dutch Whispers line, so that's 1, that's 5, that's 5, that's 1. I mean, it really doesn't matter, does it? It's not going to help us. What about, I've got a 1 here, good. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we've got 2, 4, 7 in the bottom of the grid. So these are 1, 3, 6, I think. Which means this is a 2, 4 pair. We are getting much better at knowing what this line adds up to, aren't we? In fact, I know that digit. That's a 7. So now I almost do know exactly what this line adds up to. I've got 9, I've got 16 on it so far, plus this digit, 16. So it's either, well, it can't be 20. It can't be 20, because if it was 20, you'd have to put a 0 in one of those cells. And 0 is not a Sudoku digit. There's a knowledge bomb for you. So it must be 18, and the only one of 1 and 8 that can be is 1. So that must be 8. I hope that, I mean, that felt logical. 9, 7 go into those squares. 3 and 6 here. Oh, that's good. Because that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Okay. Has that done? Have we done all the 9s? It feels like, yeah, I thought we might have done. What about 8s? We can do some more 8s. This cell here is now 1 or a 5 by Sudoku. 7s? No, 7s are being more recalcitrant, aren't they? That cell's not an 8, though. Okay. 3 here makes this not 3. Right, so we might have to do something. Oh, and hang on, we know this digit, of course. We've got to keep, because we had to keep the line down to not being 20. So that's going to probably be helpful. This is now 4. This is a 2, 3 pair. Oh, no, that really didn't do. No, that really didn't do quite as much as I was hoping. All right, let's try the final column. 1, 2, 4, 7. So this is 1, 2, or 4. This is 1, 2, or 7. This is 2, 4, or 7. That wasn't my finest hour. Going for that column, that was not where we were meant to look, I'm pretty sure. Oh, look, there's a 2, 3, 4 triple in column 7. I hadn't seen that. So we need 5 and 6, so 6 has to go here. Which, that does look like it's going to do something, but I just want to put the 5 up here as well. 1, 5. Oh, look, it's actually that almost seemed the way to go, but I've noticed this is doing this as well. 7, 8, 6. Wow. Okay, so that was a flurry of very useful activity. This is 2, 3, or 4. And has this unwound itself now? I'm pretty sure it must have done. How does this digit not... How has that not been resolved? That's no longer a 7, look, or a 2 because of this 2-7 pair. So that's come right down to 1 or 4. That's not 1 anymore. This is 2 or 4 because it can't be 7. And in this row I've now got a 2-4 pair, so I get a 3 up here. So 3, 4, 2, 7, 4, 1, 2, and that is a 3 apparently. 2, 4, what's that digit? Don't know, 5 maybe. And therefore I think we are there. Unless I've made a real boo-boo, we are now there, aren't we? Because we can do 8, 2, 2, 3, 7 here, 7, 4, 4 and something, 3. Oh, and we haven't done... Oh, I thought we might get a second 3 in the corner, but no. There we go. Very nice puzzle. Very nice puzzle. I was a bit slow to realise... I spotted some things with a modest amount of alacrity, like that they had to be repeats, but then I should have immediately grokked. I didn't put together that deduction and that deduction in the way that I would have been proud of my brain about. So my brain let me down. Bad brain, but there was a beautiful puzzle to collaborate like that, and I really liked the way those whispers worked. They were sort of surprising. Knocking 9 off the bottom of this one was very clever, so force this 1-5 pair, and yeah, that was it right. Hang on, let's just check. Yes. Oh my goodness, I don't think is Geburtstag, is that birthday? Oh, hang on. Egg N Bacon Tacular. Okay, spectacular. Have a spectacular birthday. Yeah, I could be right. I have a vague memory of... Is EI German for egg? Could be. Ein Spectaculari. Spec? Is that bacon? Spec has... that rings the vaguest of bells with me. Spec, is that some... It's some sort of ham, I think. Spec. It's a bit like spam. I don't... Oh... No, that's... No, I think that's... I think my brain's gone a bit haywire there. But I think this says something like... Have a great birthday, Sujoyku. And I hope you did have a great birthday. What a lovely thing to have so many friends who made something, created something for you. Let me know in the comments how you got on with the puzzle. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.